Alrighty. Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all having a great day. There is a blockbuster amount of news going on right now, and I'm literally seeing like breaking news happening as I'm talking to you guys. So we're going to be talking about all this stuff. There will be no stream tonight. I'm going to be streaming today because my friend is having a birthday today, so I got to go give him a couple cigars and support him on his big day. He's turning 35. So yeah, guys, Bitcoin's all over the place today. We're going to be talking about that. The news, of course, the jobs report. Who called having negative jobs? I called having negative jobs. People always think I'm crazy for stuff like that, but I'm like, if things keep on getting revised downwards, chances are things are going to get really nasty here pretty soon. And that's kind of scary because I know a lot of people that have regular jobs, which, you want to have your friends have jobs, right? So, or just, your fellow citizens of that, right? So, happy to see all of you guys here today. We're going to be going over the jobs report first, going over some general news, and then going over the Fed because the Fed is having some breaking news right now that is like, damn, this is crazy. Before we get going, here's Loki. Loki, oh, you such a good little boy. Well, come on, say hi. Where's Loki at? What? Ooh, yeah. All right, there you go. He's gonna go play around. Alrighty. So let's just get started right now. We're not going to do any technical analysis for a minute here. So what I want to do is actually make my head a little bit smaller for you guys. Need to figure out a way to make this automatic, but I don't know how to do it just yet. I like the little bit of angles working out. Now, guys, let's go here first. You can see the breaking news on top. If you guys want to read that ahead of time, you guys can. Payrolls rose 22,000 in August, less than expected, and further sign of hiring slowdown. That's fine. Bad jobs report. We were already expecting a bad jobs report. That is nothing new. We talked about the ADP numbers back on Wednesday, right? Bad. Go down a little bit lower here. This is what's interesting. The report showed a marked slowdown from the July increase of 79,000, which was revised up by 6,000. So July was revised up by 6,000, but we saw that in June we had a net loss of 13,000 jobs. We have a negative number for the first time in a very long time. So I went over here. You can see we've been doing okay this year, but things are definitely getting worse post tariffs, okay? Last 5 years, the last time it's happened was December of 2020. Okay? That is not a good sign. Now, we can no longer go max here because of the pricing and stuff like that. Maybe I will actually pay for pricing here eventually. Trial week. 49 bucks for the week. That is just stupid. They're really trying to milk that data. But anyway, there's COVID levels over here and things like that. Yeah, that's fine. But again, we haven't been negative in so long. And I love being right about this stuff, but damn, it is absolutely insane right now. So because of that, you're seeing two things happen. Of course, if you guys want interest rate cuts, oh yeah, we're probably going to have 3 this year. We're not even going to have the 2 like people were talking about. We're going to go back up to my original expectation of 3. We may even get 4 if things get a lot worse. So far, the Fed has been wrong by looking at the data like this because they've been trusting the government's data, and I think they should have just been focusing more on the ADP data. In fact, I was reading an article by Waller, who is one of the Fed governors who dissented last month. Or back in July, saying, hey, I don't believe the numbers from the government. I think we should be looking at the ADP numbers because they don't need to be revised as much. They're not usually as crazy or as wild with the revisions. Yeah, so that's the first thing, right? Jobs are going down. That helps out rate cuts and things like that. Cool. Other thing is, like, when jobs start to go down, they typically start to go down fast. So that means there's also a fear of a recession coming along, which could be great for like 2026, but for the next couple quarters, that could mean drastic negative moves in the marketplace. That means people get laid off. That means they're not spending. That means guidance is revised down. That means stocks go down. That means people pull out. We go from a risk-on environment to a risk-off environment, even though we're going to have rate cuts to help us out. So everybody's a little bit concerned because I don't think people were expecting us to get here this fast. If you guys look on CNBC and everything, all of a sudden, like, they've been talking for months like, oh, the job market is strong, everything's going okay, we got to worry about inflation, not the job market. The Fed is doing the right thing by looking at this data and being a little bit slower. Now, all of a sudden, I mean, you can see the freaking trend on the chart right there. You can see we've been going down. Would they think we were just not going to go negative if we kept on going down, right? So Again, it's a very interesting thing going on right now, but you do see a lot of people freaked out, and you're seeing all those people that didn't want to have any rate cuts in September. They're coming around like, maybe. They're not saying we should, but they're saying maybe. Because again, all these people in the bureaucracy of the Fed, the banking system, they have massive egos, and they never, never, never want to be told that they are wrong, which is God, I fucking hate them for it, but that's just the way the world works, right? Now, the stock market is down a little bit today. I think we have about 30 minutes before it gets over. The market is not in a bad day, right? The Dow is down 40.45%. The S&P is down 0.34. NASDAQ is down 0.10. And the Russell is up 0.43 because, of course, more rate cuts mean good things here. Because of all this news that came out, though, look at this. Mortgage rates see the biggest one-day drop in over a year. These things are falling because all of a sudden, everybody is panicking about the overall economy. Everybody's panicking, but when those rates come down, oh yeah, we're going to see some lovely, lovely things, right? The average rate on the 30-year fixed mortgage dropped 16 basis points to 6.29% Friday, according to the Mortgage News Daily, following the release of the weaker than expected August employment report, right? So let me get rid of all this stuff very fast. Trump is threatening some trade stuff against the EU for fines against Google and Apple. That may stir some stuff up, which could be an issue in the future. I don't think it's too much of an issue right now, but put it in the back of your head. We'll talk about it in the future, I'm sure. This is the breaking news right here. This is it. Mystery of the former Federal Reserve Governor Kugler's resignation deepens as real estate records raise new questions. Let me actually just read this story because I do think it's very, very important. You know, before this thing came after Lisa Cook to fire her, this woman right here, Governor Kugler, I can't pronounce the name properly. What she did was she resigned out of nowhere, not really explaining why she resigned. She just left. Okay, everybody was very confused, but nobody really looked into it. And now it looks like the reporting is finally coming out, right? So let me just read this for you guys because it is important. Former Federal Reserve Governor Adriana abruptly resignated from the board on August 1st, and her unexplained absence at a key meeting 2 days earlier left the financial community shocked and confused. Nominated by Democratic former President Joe Biden to fill a surprise vacancy on the Fed board and confirmed in 2023, Kugler's term was not set to expire until January of 2026. That's coming up pretty soon, right? In her August 1 resignation letter addressed to Trump, Kugler offered no explanation for why she was leaving her job just months before her term ended. I am writing to notify you that I'm resigning from my position as a governor of the Federal Reserve Board, effective August 8th, 2025, she wrote. It has been an honor of a lifetime to serve on the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System. The Federal Reserve said in a press release also on August 1st that Kugler will return to Georgetown University as a professor this fall. All right. Now, we're not going to go through everything here. But there we go. Oh, wait, where are we at? Let's see. Wait. There you go. Kugler's okay. A CNBC review of Kugler's personal finance disclosures and her Maryland state tax records revealed two seemingly incompatible descriptions of Kugler's primary residence. Kugler told CNBC Thursday that the apparent inconsistency in her real estate records was an error made by county tax officials, right? So the same thing that Trump is firing Cook for is what she pretty much like said, hey, we're going to charge you if you don't get the fuck out. This is crazy. So we had multiple Fed officials doing fraud, and they're both Democrats, which I think is pretty bad for Democrats in this point of view. I kind of wish, I always like when 50-50, so you got bad Republican, bad Democrat. But the liberals in this thing, they may be a little bit more corrupt than the Republicans here. I mean, yeah, isn't that just crazy? These people should know what they're doing. Hers is a better reason, though. She says hers was done by the county and it's not her fault. Lisa Cook says it was just a clerical error. So we're going to see which one kind of holds more weight here. But this news is going to be talked about a lot. After this stream is over, I will pretty much actually go onto YouTube and type up CNBC, and I will try to find out more information from the videos. But I don't see right here. Powell's taking an air views. Tesla, no. 10 years, no. No, there's nothing yet. So they haven't made a YouTube video yet, but I'm really excited to see what they talk about here. All right. Now, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, you guys already knew I thought it was pretty bearish here. We're kind of all over the place today. We hit the what you want to call it, the resistance here, which was the 20-day moving average. We're doing okay right now. It's nothing too crazy. But on the other side, if we manage to close around these levels in the next 4 hours, we will have a bullish MACD, which can actually get us back up here towards $114,000 throughout the weekend. Probably not breaking above the 50 until maybe next week if we get some luck here. But that could be a good move despite the bearishness we have been seeing on the, there it goes, on the weekly charts here. Again, we're not going to be bullish in the weekly chart, so I would expect us to have a higher low and then move down as the time goes on. But we have so many variables over the next few weeks. I'm actually pretty excited to see that we can actually try to pump out and break this little cycle of the bearish momentum with the MACD, stochastics, and RSIs. Primarily because I think we got PCE data next week, and we got CPI data coming out next week. So everybody's just going to be kind of crazy with it. And that's pretty much the story for today. I don't know. It's kind of a weird time for me to be streaming, but if you guys want to talk about anything, let me know. Hey, Villa, happy to see you, my man. Hey, Razvan, Mo, Crypto Ricky. Is all season? Yeah, altcoin season should be coming sometime in October. It looks like that's just when we start to see the rate cuts coming. No, excuse me, not rate cuts coming. Rate cuts happen in September, but they're going to continue going on through the rest of the year here, it looks like. I still expect us to have an altcoin season. I would expect some altcoins, of course, to move higher than others. But yeah, I'm still expecting to see some large moves over the next few months. My concern really is the Fed may be too late. They may be actually shitting the bed here because they weren't understanding the data. And maybe that's because of political reasons, because Trump was just fucking trashing them in a way he probably shouldn't have been doing, and they feel resentful for that. Whatever, the economy is not in a great spot. And you can see this morning when the jobs report came out right here, or yeah, no, we actually had a good jobs report here. We just got slammed back down. Yeah, actually went up a little bit, just got slammed back down. I think everybody would realize, like, damn, the jobs report's pretty nasty. And I hope I said, hey, GT, happy to see you as well. Loki just went outside here. He's sad my sister left. My sister just went on a cruise today, so she's living her best life. I'm over here working and chilling, and yeah, I guess getting ready for my friend's birthday party tonight. That'll be pretty fun. Haven't celebrated a birthday in a minute. I think there's like 5 or 6 coming up here. It's like boom, boom, boom. My birthday's at the end of the month, right? But yeah, I just don't know how to feel about all this right now. I'm still bullish on Bitcoin for the long term and everything like that. I'm not too concerned. If you look above my head, you can see altcoins are still plenty bullish right now, right? You got altcoins up 7% like Mana, Turbo's up 6%, Popcat's up a few. I mean, Crow is down a 0.5%. That's not terrible. Excuse me. You can see the last 24 hours, you see a lot of green on there. Tron's down a little bit, but you know, mostly everything, it's doing okay, right? Mostly everything's doing all right. We go over here to our portfolio. The group portfolio, that one's up about 2% today. Not that bad. Fart coins down about 0.21% today. And the high risk is up around 5% today. And what is freaking moving today? Maple syrup finance is up a lot, 9%. Lip here is up a little bit here. Aerodom Finance is up another 8%. Turbo's up 8%. Walrus is up 6% here. So we're seeing a little bit of movement. Still a lot of bearishness here. I'm still overall down about 6% from this one. But you know what? Sometimes I'll just take it. You can see before the announcement came out, we were actually rocking and rolling up to like $700. Now back down to 682. Yeah. Gosh, this is just such a crazy time in the marketplace here. I'm really hoping we can get some good stuff going on. We saw some momentum building up last night, but these momentums haven't necessarily been panning out too well here. There's been like a little bit of iffiness there. But the day trading has been, it's been okay. Oh, heads up, I did put out a new video on my channel. It's about VWAPs, not VWAPs, excuse me. That's for a couple of days from now. It's about, Bollinger Bands. So I put this out today if you guys want to watch it. It basically just teaches you how to put the Bollinger Bands onto your charts. But I also go over the settings and stuff like that so you can get more precise signals. Like, do you need to be using an EMA versus an SMA? What is your standard deviation? What, you know, do you need a 1.5 versus 2 versus 2.5 versus 3? What's really going to work for your weekly charts, your monthly charts, and stuff like that. So if you guys get a chance, watch the video. It's a pretty simple one. It's a lot shorter than the other one, which is like an hour long. This one was only like 13 minutes long because that's all there really was to talk about. But yeah, so get ready for that. That'll be pretty interesting if you guys like to use the Bollinger Bands. And I believe I have the VWAP coming up next, and I have a few more things coming up, but I think I closed that page that has my list on it. But yeah, so I'll be making tutorials here quite frequently. My tutorial on smart money concepts is getting views slowly. I think I just have to keep on making tutorials and pump them out because, again, I haven't done it for such a long time. I have to rebuild that audience, but it looks like people have been enjoying it so far with a bunch of likes and stuff like that. So I'm happy with it. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. I know this is going to be a little bit of a shorter video. There's not many people in here because I think most of you guys are at work or at the office and listening to me through your headphones and stuff like that. But man, I don't know. This story is just kind of crazy. There's so much corruption in the Fed. There's like, actually, let me go over here to Gemini very fast. Oh, I guess we can use Gemini. And then, okay, there we go. And then over the last 10 years, why have Fed governors resigned? Let's see. Okay. List all of them who left because they did something wrong and tell me what they did. There you go. All right. So several high-profile resignations of the Federal Reserve officials over the last decades have been linked to ethic concerns. Vice Chair Richard Clarida, she resigned in January 2022. He had financial trades, right? So he was trading while there. I don't know what this guy, let me see. I don't know anything about this person. Oh, this guy used to be on CNBC. Yeah. Oh, shit. And he was nominated by Donald Trump right there. So he was put by Trump in 2018. And then we got Robert Kaplan, president of the Federal Reserve in Dallas. He's still alive. No, it doesn't list him right there. Let's see. Doesn't say anything about his stuff. Fed. There you go. Oh, this is a whole different person, I guess. Yeah. He was put in by Obama. Interesting. Okay. So it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody's freaking corrupt in the system here. Eric Rosengren. I can't pronounce that name properly. That's a Bush appointee right there. Yeah, damn. Some of these people, they have new, stricter ethics rules, but yeah, they're just bad. And then let me go over here. Let me refresh this. I'm going to give this whole story. Oh, you fucking... Okay, there you go. I'm going to give this whole story to Gemini and then see what it has to say about it. There you go. And then, what about this latest one here from CNBC? Let's see what it says. Okay. Oh, damn, she has a house between $1 and $5 million. That is pretty darn nice. Yeah. This thing is a little bit liberal on the bottom side here. And hey, GT, let me put on back on Bitcoin as I read your thing. I'm conflicted. I know the tariffs are causing problems. For example, there was a filet steak I have bought for the last 6 years that's been $7. Last week it jumped to 12 and the Fed is not cutting. Is a problem, but I can't also see why we shouldn't cut either. It's frustrating. Makes me wonder if the tariffs never were a thing and if the Fed would have cut earlier. So I don't believe so because the data was still too strong for them, right? Remember, we had the tariffs, and even when you factor in tariffs on inflation, it's a one-time thing. So it's like the prices have now gone from A to B, but it's not like that's going to affect it for the next year, the next year, the next year, the next year, the next year. That's a new standard, right? So that's the way you're supposed to look at it. The Fed looked at it, I think, the same way, but they just keep on thinking that the job market was too great. Remember how I was ranting over the past few months about how they keep on saying the job market's good, it's strong, and I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at? I'm like, it's absolutely insane because, again, I'm not an expert, but I'm looking at pretty much the same data they're looking at. I can use AI to scrape the stuff and kind of see what they're looking at. And I'm like, remember, guys, I just showed you that mortgage rates, job support. Yeah, there you go. Remember I showed you that chart right here, and you can kind of clearly see it's heading down. You know, eventually it's going to have some bad times. And again, we're in this age of AI. AI is smashing jobs out the freaking window here, and they're not the easier jobs that you can go, like, it's not like you get replaced by a robot at McDonald's and you can't go work at Denny's or some other easy place that really can train you on the job. Like, if you're an accountant and you lose or accountant's assistant and you lose your job to AI, I mean, first of all, it's going to be hard to find another job because everybody else is looking for that same job. But another thing is, because everybody else is looking for that same job, the person that's hiring knows they can offer you a lot less money, and they're probably going to get somebody that's qualified instead of that person that's only been working for a few years, and that person that's qualified will still take that less money because that's all they freaking know how to do. So it's crazy. Now, the tariffs are rough for the economy. Yes, we've known that it's going to cause price increases. When Trump says that tariffs don't get passed on to the consumer, no, that's a lie. Because again, that shrinks the margins of corporations. Corporations are soon after forced to pass those on to everybody else. Think of it, the closest thing to tariffs that we have in our daily lives that we feel all the time, and we kind of hear about it every year or so, minimum wage increases, right? Every time there's a minimum wage increase, if you guys go to any fast food spot, within a week of it passing, you're going to see the prices jump up enough where that McDonald's owner is making the exact same amount of money he was before. The workers get their money, right? But the people that want McDonald's, they now have to pay a premium for it. So, I mean, like, let me just go over here to, there you go, McDonald's. Prices, Seattle, Washington. Right. So let's see if I just wanted to get a burger. Where's the normal Big Mac thing? Right. If I just want a special edition Gold Miss Crispy sandwich, just the sandwich, that's going to cost $9.59. If I just want a French fries, I think that's small or medium, that's $4. If I want a Coke, it's $2. If I want a 40-piece chicken McNuggets, that's $20. If I want a special, that's the same Miss Crispy thing, deluxe special edition McCrispy, that's $11.29, right? Now let me just say, maybe I want a Filet-O-Fish or something. A Filet-O-Fish sandwich costs $6.49. A double Filet-O-Fish, which I did not know existed, is $7.99. That is actually a great deal because, you know, you're saving a lot of money for that 1 to 2 patties or that one extra fish patty thing. Now, I haven't eaten a Filet-O-Fish in a long time because I know they made them smaller. So you're going to see things get smaller, and you're also just going to see things become more expensive. And that's been happening for a while, but that's the closest thing I can imagine. Like a Big Mac is $7.59. All right, so it's expensive, and that's kind of the closest thing I can kind of relate tariffs to. But the good thing is the tariffs only going to last one time. They're going to spike for a minute, and then we're going to be fine. The issue right now is the jobs market, because inflation isn't running away. Like if we go over here to trading economics, right? That's not the one I want. I want this one. Yeah, inflation rate. Let's go the last 10 years. There is nothing out of the ordinary that's really striking fear into me right now with CPI. Now, maybe it'll show up this month. Maybe it'll show up next month. We can wait it out. But at this point in time, we do not see that spike happening. Let's go to the last 3 years. Let's go to last year. right? April, we went from 2.3 back up to 2.7. Still not as bad as we were back in January or December or July of last year. It's fine. We were fine throughout those times. We're perfectly fine. And one of the issues here, I would say, with tariffs is Trump is doing tariffs to bring jobs back to America. And yeah, sure, we are bringing jobs back to America. There's a lot of investment and stuff like that, but that takes time. That takes a long time to build up a factory. It takes a long time to move all that infrastructure over here. You guys know that Crown whiskey is leaving Canada and coming over to America. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. We want to have most of our consumers in America. We need to save money. We want to make more money for our shareholders, right? Because that's who matters in the end for the corporations. It's the shareholders, which is hopefully all of us, right? But anyway, we're not looking at some type of disaster. Well, I think things are getting a little bit worse. You can see food inflation, what you're talking about here. Again, it hasn't been going insane, but we've been going up since December of last year. You could even say November of last year, and we've pretty much been pretty steady about that. And again, if you guys recall, we had that crazy egg shortage or something with all the bird flu, and we just killed a bunch of eggs, killed a bunch of chickens and destroyed a bunch of eggs. But you go over here to core PCE. That's a little bit hotter. Not crazy. It's the same we had in February or December, but that is hotter. Go to the last 5 years, you know. Nothing crazy yet, but you can see we're changing the arc a little bit. And the other one over here is PCE year over year. Again, not crazy. And the other one is PPI, which I think we have next week as well. And PPI, I would say, is the one where you saw the jump, right? 2.4 to 3.3%. That's a pretty big jump. It's not like it's out of control. You know, like, again, remember what the prices were last holiday season. That's basically where you're at as far as inflation. Last 5 years, and you can see we're creeping up a little bit, but we haven't been this high in a minute. And if we do break above the January high of 3.8%, that'd be a concern because the next level is like 4.7, right? So, you know, it is what it is. I don't have a lot of faith in Jerome Powell right now because maybe he was just trying to appear to be strong, but for the longest time over the past, like, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, he's been saying the economy is strong. And I'm like, bro, what are you looking at? You got to start cutting now because it's always better to be too late, to be too early when it comes to the jobs, because once things start to get bad, it gets into the psyche of everybody saying, oh my God, we're seeing jobs lost. I better start saving money. The moment the American public stops spending money like willy-nilly and putting money on the credit cards and shit like that, all of a sudden businesses aren't making as much money. They start to lay off people. Those people don't spend money. People freak out even more. The media starts to spin it as a crazy catastrophe. And guys, remember this. This is Donald Trump we're talking about. Now, whether you guys hate him, love him, just accept him, whatever, he is hated by the mainstream media establishment. So if the economy even looks for a second that we're really going to go downhill, they will blast it on the news 24/7, and they will try to scare people into not buying anything. Or they won't try. It'll be a result of them scaring everybody, talking about how bad the economy is. Remember, next year we have the midterm elections. Democrats are also going to be pushing that narrative. You guys know Democrats and the media usually are in lockstep with a lot of things. So I'm just saying we're in a very precarious spot right now. And I don't think we had to be here because I think the Fed, there was an arrogance to Jerome Powell, right? And this is partly Trump's fault because Trump actually is the guy that got Jerome Powell the job, right? Now, I don't think Trump even knew. Remember, Trump was surrounded by establishment hawks in his first administration, so he didn't really control as much as he thought he did because he didn't know. Since he kind of had that 4-year break where he lost the election to Joe Biden, oh dear Lord, he kind of like, he took a crash course on how to run the country and get all levels of government. He got new people with him that understood everything, and he's moving stuff along. And that's where you see him again. I think it looks like he got rid of the other Fed official that we were talking about. I just, you know, I think there's just a sense of arrogance from Jerome Powell. And again, a lot of people will believe whatever the media tells them, right? And when they do that, they risk being surprised like we are right now, which can ultimately just, depending on how, like, if you're a trader, it may impact you a little bit more, but the average person, like, damn, this is crazy, and then they don't know about it, but like a few months later when they lose their job, they say, oh, I could have had my job if we'd have cut rates, we could have had more debt, you know, all that type of stuff. So It's just crazy. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know right now. It's just a weird time to be in the markets. Weird time to be alive. Heck, we have tariffs and Bitcoin hit all time high. Well, see again, tariffs aren't messing with Bitcoin necessarily, except for when we have the shocks. Sure, they are. Um, but what's messing up right now, if we don't have rate cuts, is the altcoin markets. So that means like things like Ethereum, Solana, your Russell 2000 stocks, right? Like if you go back to CNBC, Russell 2000 was positive today, right? The larger ones, they're down a little bit because of some fears, right? But again, Nasdaq's only down 0.03, S&P 0.3, and Dow 0.48, excuse me. It's not terrible. Bitcoin is still up technically right now. It's up around 0.86. We're not in a crisis mode right now. We just saw the nasty dip. My issue is more of like what happens for the economy over the next few months, because we're slated to have a great end of year rally, like a great one. I don't want to see that the Fed blunders this and blows it for us. If we go into a recession in 2026, I mean, fuck it. We'll have sold out by then. We'll be very happy with the profits we got. But I want to be able to sell all of my tokens before that happens. You know, this is like, you know, depending on who you are, how much you're trading, this is either hundreds of dollars to you or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars where you're trying to make it, and the Fed is an obstacle in our way, right? They are an obstacle in our way right now because, in my opinion, they're not looking. They're just looking at the data in a different way than I would, right? This is why I typically say go to YouTube, and I think there was, I go to CNBC. There was a guy that I was just saw on CNBC a second ago. I think it's Muhammad. Yeah, so after the stream, I'm going to watch this one. Powell's take too narrow on the view of jobs market, says Muhammad Al Arian, right? That's going to be a good, how long is that? 4 minutes? I'm going to watch all 4.5 minutes of that. And I'll see how it goes. How's the oil market doing right now? The oil market's down 2% today. Oh boy, we may break down again and start coming back down again. This is not good for the global economy at all. And again, we are heading into the fall where people don't drive around as much, and it's not time to heat up your houses just yet, right? In my backyard, I can see the leaves turning yellow, which is crazy. But Russell's up right now. Russell may hit all-time highs here over the next few weeks, especially when we have rate cuts and stuff. Gold is up a little bit more as well, right? Currencies are usually pretty flat. Where's the dollar index? There we go. Right, the currency is still okay here. But yeah, we're in a interesting position. Interesting position. Because like from a technical perspective, sure, like I said, short term we're in some pain here. That's fine. That's every September, I guess. But October comes around, November, we should be popping and roaring here. I just hope that we can be talking about an okay labor market with cutting rates, and that's what we want to see. We don't want to see the economy go into recession. That's like terrifying for people that want to hold the market, because again, we'll have a sharp downward move, and then rates will be cut. Then we'll kind of boom for a little bit, but that can take like a year. And who wants to wait another year, right? Who wants to do that? Just be freaking annoying. Oh, I can visually tell the job market is off here in Arizona. We have become a tech hub in the last 8 years, but you don't have to a degree. You're not getting in these big wig jobs. Even those people with the big wig jobs, they're going to get laid off too. That's the crazy thing, though, right? Imagine getting a new job, you're doing fine, and all of a sudden, boom, AI takes your job, right? Go back to Gemini. What are the top 20 positions in companies and big corporations? Not corporations. That will suffer massive job losses from AI over the next few years. Don't tell me why, just list the 20 positions. Doop. Sometimes it just likes to talk, and I'm like, I just want to list. Data entry clerks, telemarketers, customer service representatives, accountants and bookkeepers, financial analysts, credit analysts, market research analysts, paralegals and legal assistants, administrative and executive assistants, translators and interpreters, proofreaders and copy markers, technical writers, editors, news analysts, reporters and journalists, advertising sales agents, payroll clerks, human resource specialists, medical transcriptionists, travel agents, and receptionists. I mean, like, damn, you know? Now, by the year 3030, no, not 3030, 2030, give me an estimate. No, how many jobs in total is this in the USA? And don't forget, this is coming all across the world to Europe and shit like that. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to go to Asia. It's going to be freaking chaotic. There's going to be like a new lower class system built into the system here, where they're like basically like they're on EBT for their whole life and they have no upward mobility unless they can really get an education, and the education is going to be really different because there's not going to be as much money going to the systems. How many jobs is this total USA as of now? No text, just give me the jobs next to the titles, please. It's going to say it's going to be hard to find this information or something. I'm really hoping it just gives me the information. There you go. It's all poison. There you go. And hey, Gapfiller, happy to see my man. Hey, Michael, how's it going? Do you think it's just a typical red September? Yeah, this is just typical red September. This is nothing crazy. The panic that I'm talking about is more from the jobs market and not really in the market itself, like the stock market, the cryptocurrency market, and us going higher. And hey, Michael, happy to see my man. It does have a nice little inverted head and shoulders. You are right about that, Michael. So basically, jobs require a little skill. Yeah, but they pay well. Like, okay, like, so, okay. Do it again, but also add in the median salary for the position. There you go. So data entry clerks, 1.3 million, median salary $36,000. Okay, that might not seem a lot to you, but again, that's a nice entry-level job where you can use that to go to another job in the future, all right? So if I were to go over here and let me type in, I'm just gonna use AI. Do it one more time and also add what the salary is per hour. It's actually making it pretty easy. I'm not going to lie. See, again, AI, you know what I mean? So data entry clerks, median salary, $36,000. Hourly wage is basically about $17 an hour. That's the median. In Seattle, that's much more because of our minimum wage requirements. Telemarketers, over $100,000. Median salary, $20,000. Median hourly wage, about less than $10. That's not great. I was a telemarketer in Seattle for a while. I got paid $20 now, but I was working for the state. So again, this will change a little bit. Customer service representative, 2.8 million. Median salary, 38,000. Median hourly wage, $18.39. So again, it's not like it's you're gonna hit people of all economic status, if you will. But again, if you've been working your whole life as a customer service representative, where do you go from there? If you've been a telemarketer, where do you go from there? Data entry clerk, where do you go from there? Accountants and bookkeepers, where do you go from there? Median salary for these guys is at $56,000. There's 1.5 million of them, and the hourly wage is around $27. Financial analysts, the median hourly wage is around $50, right? Over $100,000 median salary. That's almost 400,000 people right there. Credit analysts, and again, this money isn't going to be going to these people that can inject it back into the economy. This money is going to be saved by corporations that are going to make new investments, and we have to figure out where those investments are going to be so we can buy them and make money off of them. Because you're looking at a world where everybody's going to start choosing the cheapest option, which is going to be like a Walmart or like an Amazon, right? Or a Temu or something like that. It's going to be very chaotic. It's going to be very chaotic, this disruption that we're going to be seeing here. Credit analysts, $75,000 a year, $36 an hour. Market research analysts, $37 an hour. Paralegals, $29 an hour. Assistants, $30 an hour, basically. Translators, $20 an hour. Proofreaders, $23 an hour, right? So these are all decent jobs for the most part as you start getting to this like higher paid ones above $20. Ooh, I mean, you know, when all these people lose their job, where do they go next? You know, where do they go next? And I'm just not entirely sure about that. Um, and what's the jobs for all of these? Ooh, excuse me, guys. A little over 11 million jobs, right? So 11 million jobs could be gone, messing up the, all the inflation debt, all that other type of stuff. So I think when those people start to lose jobs, inflation will naturally come down because all of that purchasing power will slowly, it's not going to happen all at once, right? Slowly erode from the system. But that's why everybody's investing in the big AI giants, because they're the ones that are going to have all the money and stuff, right? That's why I'm buying up a bunch of AI stuff, because I know a lot of these companies are eventually just going to get bought out, and I'm fine with it. I think my AI portfolio right now is down 11%, 12%, down 10.5%. Yeah, 10.5. I'm up 3% today. Can I open this up? There you go. So there's only two that are profitable right now. PGY right here, Pagaya Technologies. That one's up 10% since I bought it. And then we got SoundHound, which is up 17% since I bought it. But you have everything else down 7%, 11%. UPST is down 20%. AI had some type of blunder, I don't know what, and that was down 46%. And Big Bear AI is down 37%, right? But despite all that, I'm only down 10%. And I'm holding these for years. Oh, I don't mind that at all, right? So it's going to get more complicated here, for sure. Yeah, it's just gonna get more complicated. We have to have look at more variables here, or at least be more concerned with the variables, I guess you would say, right? But yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll be fine. Been in the trades for my whole life and work is abundant. Oh yeah, I got friends that are electricians. I was thinking of electrical engineer, but it was electricians. And like my mom was an electrician. One of my best friends is an electrician. One of the older best friends I have, he's a retired electrician. One of my friends I was talking last night, he owns a general contracting company. He does a lot of stuff. I'm friends with a lot of his guys. So like, they're doing just fine right now. Now they are hoping for the construction guys. They are hoping more for lower rates so they can finance like roofs and like changes and like fixing up the house and stuff like that. That's something they've been looking forward to. But there's always jobs there. But if you think about it, a lot of the people that we're talking about right there, they typically have a view that like I'm above that type of work, right? I'm above that. I went to college. Why would I need to learn how to use a freaking hammer? And as stupid as it is, it's just the reality. They have some type of negative connotation with construction workers or electricians or plumbers, all that type of stuff. When in reality, plumbers are making a lot more than the people on that list. Electricians are making a lot more than the people on that list, right? So, they're going to have to humble themselves or be stuck on, government assistance, for a lot of those people, not all of them, they may get severance of like 5-6 months, something like that. But for like, I would say the other half, they're not getting any severance. They're fired. They're done. No more health care. And guys, oh my God, wait until a lot of these people lose their jobs in the white collar sector, and they lose their health care. And wait until all the McDonald's workers get replaced with robots in the front, so you can't hassle with them anymore. You just place your order and you're good to go. And if something really goes wrong, they can have a manager there to answer some questions or something like that. And there's just a few people fixing stuff in the back. And because they can have robots in the back in the future, they can pretty much make a more efficient workflow for the AI. And it'll keep on going and going and going. It'll know to pre-prep food during certain times when there's going to be a lot more traffic based on the history of the last few days, right? It'll know there's a concert ending at this time. Maybe we should prepare a little bit more food just in case there's a rush, right? All this stuff can happen with AI. Now, it will take time. I understand that but like, it's going to be so magical for people that actually have money. For those who are going to be hit hard by it, it's going to be like a freaking nightmare for them. Unless they're able to somewhat have a major life change and really adjust their whole thing, or maybe try to leave the country and go do works for other countries, but they're not going to pay anywhere near as well as here, obviously. So a little bit different. So pump before the cuts, then drop before or pump after. So we usually have a bad September here. That's not irregular. Right now we're seeing bearish weekly MACDs, which would point to the fact that Bitcoin should be going lower into the rate cuts that are happening in a few weeks. So that's up to now, right? The issue is why most people are taking it pretty easy and doing more short-term trading rather than swing trading for the next 2 weeks is really because we have two massive inflation data reports coming out next week. We have PPI inflation and we have CPI inflation coming out, and that could cause a major move to Bitcoin, a major move to altcoins specifically, and again, a very big move for the overall stock market as a whole. So all that money is going to be sloshing around just waiting for those 2 days. Going into this weekend, we have some good news. You should be able to see Bitcoin have an opportunity to pop up towards $114,000 if we're lucky. It's going to be hard, but that's kind of the goal here because we have some bullish MACDs on the daily chart. But overall, we should still be coming down, unless the CPI and PPI like blockbuster, like really good numbers are super low, which would also be a concern because that means the economy is really slowing down as well, which would be terrifying. So I'll give you another reason for a rate. That would actually lead to maybe a 50 basis point cut for this month or maybe October. But again, the Fed is very arrogant right now. They do not want to admit they've been wrong, which is bad, right? You want to be able to say, hey, I made a mistake. This is why we made a mistake. And if you prove to me like, oh, this is what you're looking at, I can understand, and now you're fixing it, oh, perfect. It's okay, you know? But yeah, it's just a little bit different. I made 80K plus a year back in 2006, an auto technician. Oh yeah, those guys are not going out of business anytime soon. Diagnosing a problem. Oh, that's good. Yeah, nope. Those guys are in jobs for a minute. They're in jobs for a while, and they can charge as much as they want to. Now, the crazy thing about mechanics, I will say, and auto technicians, I don't know why some places charge so much more than others. I remember I needed my brakes redone and I needed new rotors. And the mechanic I go to, he quoted me like $600, $700, something like that. I went to the other mechanic across the street just to see. It was a nicer building and everything, but he quoted me like $2,400 for the exact same thing, and I was like, "What the fuck?" After he said that, I didn't even like respond to him. I just hung up the phone because I was like, "That is freaking ludicrous for rotors and brakes for a 2012 Ford Fusion. Are you absolutely kidding me?" Like, so I was just like, "The fuck is this guy talking about?" But yeah, I just hung up on him. I don't know why the prices are so drastic. Safeway cheaper with club card and better food with gas savings. See, I'm a little bit bougie. I don't like going into stores anymore. I get stressed out when I go to them. I always get Instacart now, but at the same time I've been fasting, so I really haven't had much food. I will normally only eat out or fast, right? So I haven't eaten since Tuesday. I haven't eaten since Tuesday. I will eat Monday or Tuesday of next week. Now I take all my vitamins. I have all my pills and stuff like that. My doctor is watching all my stats and shit. Oh, I should put my watch back on. My heart rate goes down. All types of cool shit happens when you're fasting. My brain power is a little bit better, although my brain right now is pretty fried, I would say, because I've been working too much. But yeah, so there's this bunch of stuff happening right now. But yeah, yeah, I Instacart a lot of my stuff to my house. It doesn't cost too much, and I get a nice little thing. I'll usually go to Albertsons, Costco, Safeway for the Instacarts here. Fred Meyer's are starting to close around where I live, which is a concern. Because that means more people are going to be shopping where I shop. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it's weird. Does that mean we'll get a 24-hour McDonald's again with the robots? They don't need sleep. I will love that. So the issue with my local McDonald's, my sister came back last week, and I was leaving the cigar lounge at midnight, and I was like, hey, I know you just got in from Bellingham. Do you want any food? I know there's nothing in my house because I'm not freaking eating anything. And she says, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll go to McDonald's and get you some food. You know how long I waited in that line for McDonald's from the time I ordered, not the time to get to the ordering thing, from the time I ordered to get my food? Half an hour. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, crazy times. And something else here that's going to cause a little bit more concern is, like, I wouldn't mind and this is me just being a horrible person, right? I wouldn't mind if McDonald's was able to hire illegal immigrants and pay them $10 an hour if it meant we can get the dollar menu back for McDonald's, right? Give them healthcare, all that other type of stuff. I wouldn't mind it. Now you could have it where you prioritize American workers, but if there's a store or a McDonald's, whatever, or Wendy's or whatever you want to say, that is understaffed, they can hire that person, right? And they just cannot exceed 20% of their overall staff or 30%, whatever, unless they have a waiver from some bureaucrat who can be bought off, which will make it go higher, of course. But yeah, I'd be okay with that. I don't think people, like, again, this is me just being an asshole. I don't know if people really deserve $20 for working at McDonald's. I don't. Um, I'd rather them do something else beneficial to society and have immigrants take those cheaper jobs, or what were once cheap jobs, right? The issue is now that we got like minimum wages and shit like that, it's gonna fuck up. Like, they fucked up the system. Minimum wage for Seattle is like what? 20 over $20. Over $20. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's so crazy. The more expensive mechanic probably specialized in brakes. Yeah, there we go. Yep. I ran a small shop. We charged $100 an hour, which was cheap. Yeah, that doesn't seem crazy. You know, I don't think that's bad at all. I don't know what other people were charging though. I was like, dear Lord. And my mechanic lets me buy my own parts and bring them in to save some money because I know the same owner of an O'Reilly's that he gets his parts from, and I'm like, oh, sure, okay, thank you. But like, so I can get it down even cheaper. But now what I do is I just, you can find your friend who does it cheaper than that, and you can bring it over to your friend, make a day of it, changing your brakes and shit. Then you can smoke some cigars and drink some whiskey and you know what I mean? Like, it's so much easier. It's like almost like I don't know, like Maps, Tacoma, Washington. Okay, so there's this place over here by the mall where I will go get clothes sometimes, although I haven't been there for a minute. It's called DXL. It's just like, it's fucking overpriced clothes for fat people. But it's nice, and I like it quite a bit. I mean, it really does have some good quality polos and stuff like that. All right, right here you have a El Antojo, and you go look at their menu, and right here, and maybe I can go over here and zoom in a little bit. Can I? There you go. Right, a plain burrito is $11.20. If you want steak in it, it's $1.30 extra. That's $12 for a burrito, right? This burrito is $13.71. This California burrito with refried beans, carne asada, fries, jack cheese, guacamole, all that stuff. That one is $17.50. This thing right here is $14. That is $16. That is $13. That is $16 for a fucking quesadilla. Like, what is the world coming to? Two gorditas, $12. Single is $5. Taco plate is $14. Taco plate is $14. And if you want steak, it costs extra. If you want lingua or cow stomach, cow tongue or cow stomach, that costs extra, right? I don't know. A pizza burrito, that seems pretty cool though. But again, that thing is $22, right? Chili verde, $13, pork only. Can't even choose your meat. Burrito plate, $17 with meat choice, right? Now, I don't go here. I will go to this is the ghetto I used to live in before they rebuilt it into a nice community. Let me figure out where it's at. 72nd Street. Okay, there's the Burger King. Yeah. Here we go. I'll go to one of two places. One is this one, with like a bunch of that type of stuff. There's a restaurant in here, but I just go to. Does it not have the El Jalapeno? Okay. No. I wanted to see inside of it. Oh, it doesn't have pictures inside. No. This is a great spot if you guys are ever watching this. Like, they have like fruit cups that are already chopped up mangoes and shit that you can eat fresh. They got strawberries all cut up. You walk in there and see photos. Oh, that's the Mexican restaurant. Shit. I don't go to that Mexican restaurant either. I was really hoping to show you guys the El Jalapeno. Yeah, there's no photos of it. That is crazy. Okay, well, there's that one. And then if I go back over here, this is like an abandoned area basically. It used to be like a Kmart and something else. Like they've just been getting shut down. Um, there's this place called the Monjera Market. This may have photos. There you go. See how janky that thing looks? They got the pork grinds in there. Right, you can get fresh tamales made. You can get all the shit you want to. They cut it up. You can get meat. You can get freaking Modelo's, right? Um, and then on Saturdays and Sunday mornings for all the workers that go out in the morning, they'll come here. They get like a whole thing. See this thing right here? These are stacks of tortillas, like 20, 30 freaking tortillas. Get a deal. Oh, there's not that many photos of this one anyway. But they have like a bunch of stuff here. I wish they could show you the huge container they have filled with meats and stuff like that. And at this one right here, sorry to just go off random tangents. The one over here, they have, oh, this one right here, they have a whole section just for Mexican cheeses that are freshly made. And it's like half the price of any American store you go to. But the reason I point out this area, if I can go back to layers here and go back over here, if I drive over here, I wonder if I can, yeah, oh, I can't. Okay, perfect. Okay, keep going down. I don't know how old this is. This is from July 2024. Okay, so this whole area is now a communal tent little area where everybody's selling foods and barbecues. Black people and Mexican people all come together, and people just walk through there, get food at like a quarter of the price of the other thing I was talking about. You want a burrito? It can cost about $5 to $7. $5-7. And I'm like, yes, that's where I want to eat at. I wish I had photos to show you guys though, because they're so cool. Oh, you can see something going on right there. They're cooking something. Yeah, something going on. Yeah, but they just sell food, they chill, and it's great. Now this is pretty much a ghetto area, I will admit. They have Cappy's Produce. If I go over here, I was trying to show you guys this. This building has had so many people go in here, and they just been like slammed over and over, just like falling apart over and over again. But they'll be selling juices. Look at that! Look at that! Selling the food over there. Like if you ever like, I'm not even strapped for cash, and I'd still prefer to save money by going there because the food is more tastes better, larger portions, and you just like you want to support a small mini business like that. I know the owner of that place is technically a small business owner, but that's the real one, and he's giving me a good discount. I'm not paying so much for my food. I therefore get to spend more money on cigars and shit, and I feel good, right? And they give you some good meat portions, Otherwise, you go to Taco Guaymas, which is a really good place. I mean, it's freaking amazing. I've been going here. I went here with my mom tons of times, but it's expensive, right? So like these places are hopping up all over the place. And the last one I'll show you very fast. Where's the mega? This is the mega church. So when I was poor and I was living over here, I used to go to a park. So this is Salishan. So the park's over here. Okay, there we go. If we go up a little bit, there's a church. When this church ends on Sundays, there will be tons of Mexican ladies selling tamales all across this route for all the church ladies who want a little spice in their life. And they will be buying it up because it's so much cheaper than going to Denny's. And I would say Denny's is actually a great value. IHOP is a great value, right? They're great value still. Applebee's, it's okay. Red Robin, okay, right? But like other places, damn guys, I'm just getting old. I'm like back in my day, shit, But like, oh yeah, those little spots, oh those little hole in the walls, oh damn, they're fucking delicious. They season that food up. They put a bunch of shit in there, and they got the real hot sauce, not the fake ass hot sauce. So they got real homemade hot sauce that they make at home and bring over, and you get the fresh horchata and stuff. Oh god, it just tastes so much different when it's not watered down. Great. Spell check got me. I meant fajita. What's right here? Just hire an in-home private chef. Yeah, right. They gotta buy ingredients. What do you call? And plus, I don't like living with people. I think living with people is scary as fuck. I just don't trust people. I trust my dog. When he growls, I'm looking. This morning I let him out. He was barking like crazy, and you guys know Loki doesn't bark. Freaking coyote out there, and he was just going crazy. He was bark, 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 bark. That's crazy. I'm in New Jersey, and prices are not that crazy. I'm in Washington, man. It's a very blue state. We believe in very, very high minimum wages. You know, I mean, like you said, you live in Jersey, right? What hold on. What is New Jersey's largest city? Newark. Okay. Newark, Jersey, minimum wage. Yeah, you guys only $15 an hour. You gotta get up to those Seattle numbers up to $20 an hour. That's when you guys really start to notice it. Plus more mandatory healthcare and stuff like that. It all adds up. All adds up. Although I heard Taco Bell's bringing back Doritos Locos, I think today it was. Oh, that'd be kind of nice. Except for the Taco Bell by me, actually they're pretty efficient from what I heard. They're pretty efficient. The new $10 lunch is $20, but if you go to those little shacks where those people working their asses off, it's a $10 lunch. It's a $10 lunch. That's the great thing about it. Next time I go into that El Jalapeno place, I'm gonna show you guys it because El Jalapeno Tacoma pictures. Because I wonder if they're just on Google, right? Like Yelp. Yeah, here's Yelp. Okay, yeah. Always trust Yelp. All right, let's go in here. See tamales, right? $2. That's more expensive than I pay for a tamale, right? But it's sweet corn, that's fine. But I just want to show you guys the pictures. Squeezed jellies. They got all the peppers. They got tacos. There's where you can buy the fruit stuff in the very back. But this must be an old fucking photo. Yeah, that's from 2014. Oh my god. That's all the photos they got in there? I guess why would you take photos in there? Yeah. In the back they got the nice cheese thing. So let me go back over here very fast. Let me back it up. Oh, I gotta have it. What do you call? Photos. Oh, yeah, I can't access it. Okay. Yelp, Facebook. No, okay. There's not too much there. But yeah, I just can't stress how great it is to have cheap food. You know what I mean? That cheap, good food that, just makes sense. Costs more to eat healthy for sure. See, this is where you guys have to know your local restaurant scene and when they have happy hours. Every Tuesday, you guys will find me at a bar. And you will find me at this place called Mantador in Tacoma. Maybe I'm giving you guys too much information, but you know what? I know most people in there, so if you attack me, I will have a bunch of people to defend myself. All right, it is a tequila bar. Right, fire pit, tons of tequila, stuff like that. Really, really great. Mountain of nachos. During happy hour, those nachos cost $7. Great. However, they have this really nice salad. Of course, nobody orders their freaking salad. These are $7 as well. So, although you get way more shrimp than that during happy hour. There you go. Salad like that, and it's like $5. You know, I mean, I can go buy a salad at Safeway, Albertsons, but I think that now they pumped it up to like $7 or something like that. Right? And if I want meat in there, I can add like an extra $3 charge or something like that. That's fine. But the salad is really good. It's really fresh. I absolutely love it. What if I just type in salad here? Can I scroll back up and type salad? Oh, I can't. Okay, let me see. I'm on Tacoma salad. Images. Yeah, there's kind of a picture of it right there. They don't really have many people taking photos of salads. That's not the salad. It's kind of like a lighter romaine lettuce salad, but they have like big cherry tomatoes instead of the small ones. But I guess all these photos are freaking old as can be. But yeah, it's great. It's absolutely great. I think I actually have a date there Tuesday. I do have a date there Tuesday, actually. Cost of living in Washington is out of control. Oh my God, yeah. You got to order pizza online for the $10 deal. Oh yeah, dude. If you go get pizza, you got to order it from Pizza Hut, and then you got to get the $20 box. Or this is a hidden trick. I'm going to tell you guys this. It doesn't work everywhere. I'm a big fan of Papa Murphy's Pizza. What I do is I get the app, I log in, and I will order a pizza, right? and then I'll wait a few days basically. And every day I'll go through the codes that you can find online, like here, coupon for Papa Murphy's. And on average, the coupon code that I get will either be anywhere from 30 to 40% off of the total bill. Okay. And then that makes it absolutely worth it for a fresh homemade type of pizza. Absolutely fantastic. Now, again, that's if you really want to struggle. Nowadays, if I get the 20%, get the 20%. If I get 30, fine, whatever. If I want Papa Murphy's, I freaking get Papa Murphy's. The only thing is now, since my sister's not here with me anymore because she's off in college, right? It's not summertime anymore. I can't eat a whole freaking pizza. Even the smallest ones are too much, right? So yeah, but yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Don't be afraid to use the apps. Like if you guys go to any fast food joint from now on and you guys don't use the app, you're spending on average like 30 to 40% more for every meal. And I mean that. You guys should not just go to McDonald's or Popeyes or wherever. You guys should always order online. You get the points, the rewards, you get special deals. Like Jack in the Box, for instance. Jack in the Box tacos here, for 2 tacos, it's now $1.99. But if you order through the app, it's 99 cents. But, sometimes people just want some tacos. All right, so I'm saying it's good. Tony knows all the tricks. I want the Cracker Barrel. What do you call it? We don't even got a Cracker Barrel in Washington State. We got nothing. We got nothing like that, I don't think. Oh, you went to the Cracker today post controversy? Good, dude. As long as they're back in their working order, they're not going to change the logo again. Yeah, go support that restaurant, man. Cracker Barrel is becoming first watch. Oh, damn. El Jalapeno on a stick. Hey, what do you call it? I haven't seen that thing in a while. All right. But yeah, it's just absolutely crazy how expensive everything's gotten. It's going to get more expensive here, right? Because as soon as people start to realize that inflation's eating them up even more, they're going to want raises. Right now, they can't demand a raise because they'll just fire you and hire somebody else who's happy to work for that amount of money, right? But when the market heats up again, we don't have all those immigrants in the country, it's going to get spicy. But yeah, highly recommend that jalapeno place. It's fucking great. They don't know me there, but actually the first few times I went there when I was a teenager, man, they fucking followed me around that store. And I was dressed in khakis and a polo. But I understood why they did it. And now they love me because I buy a bunch of stuff from them. I get carne asada, El Pastor, fresh Mexican cheeses or something you guys will just not understand unless you guys have had them. They're great. Great cotija. Oh, God. You guys want fresh homemade tamales? You want that fresh pan bread? They literally have a tortilla place that just makes fresh tortillas every day right next door to it, next to the restaurant. I mean, like, ooh. Great. But okay, buddy, I have to finish up here for today. I got to do some more work here before I go to my friend's birthday party. I enjoyed talking with you guys today. Remember, the market overall is still fine. It's just the jobs report really does have me concerned because now we're seeing negative jobs numbers, which I said we were going to have. So I'm preaching right now. But I'll see you guys a little bit later, and thank you guys so much. And right there, Tony Rosas, queso fresco. Oh, yeah. Fresh Jamaica. Oh, God, don't get me started. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Next time I go there, I'll probably go there maybe next Tuesday or Monday, and I will show you the